Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome officially to round 3. I am your host, Ice Cream Teddy. I am here with my co-host, Lust. I am here with Jest and Recursion, and we have a special guest joining us for these next 3 matches. He is the GMO Online champion. He was a contender at 4KC. He was a contributing editor at Trap Style, if I'm reading that correctly, and is an absolute monster of a tutting machine. Ladies and gentlemen, PLL Mirage.
Beast mode.
Here he is. He's coming in. Oh, what's he got? What's he got?
PLL Mirage, and I used to do this thing a lot, and people like me for it. And now I want to see you guys do a lot better than me, and I'm excited because I'm kind of out of the scene. So I'm just gonna have to be like this OG perspective on this shit. So cheers, mates.
That is exactly what our guest judges are here to do. They are here to provide the X factor and the OG perspective when all other things are equal. Because if the scorecard produces a winner, you're just here to add to the conversation and hang out and watch some cool light shows with us, Mirage. But if it does come down to a tie, you will be asked to pick which light show you liked better, and you'll be asked to give us a reasoning why. It's your own reasoning. You're not obligated to any particular scorecard because we trust your judgment, and anybody who's seen your light shows, if they disagree, honestly, I don't trust their judgment.
You hit us with the Caesar.
Exactly. Yeah. It is your word. Your word is why you're here, and we are excited and honored that you are joining us for these first pod of matches here.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it, sir. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. So before you guys already know who everybody else is, so let's go ahead and get everything started with our first match, which is Bear versus Tutkita. Now, before we pull these videos up, I want to talk about this match because this is really cool. Bear is the CGI 2018 champion, is one of our contenders.
One of the few people to have ever beat Tedward in a competition. Facts.
Yeah, he took me to school 100%. I knew actually when I came out for CGI weekend, I traded with him like the Thursday of the week I got there. I traded him. I was like, if I go up against him, I'm losing. I see that. Not even a question. Wasn't even a question at that point. Yeah, not even immediate. Like the immediate thought in my head was like, okay, there's your CGI champion, and lo and behold, he beat me in the finals. Well deserved. But this is not about me. I am old and tired. This is about Bear and Tutkita, who is, I found out, is only 18, all the way from India. Won his entry.
Pretty much keyed.
Yeah, he won his entry in a giveaway, his ticket. So he is on a free ride, and if he wins this match, he enters into the paid bracket. I think first payout's gonna be like $25. So that's all free money for him.
Stonks. Stonks only go up in this case.
Exactly.
Moon rocket ship.
To the moon.
Moonshot rocket.
I just feel like I'm going to Disneyland because I don't know these people, so I'm just like completely blank, ready to just see some crazy shit.
Perfect. That's exactly what we're here for. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at Bear. That was Bear. Lust, take it away. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I got to see a bunch of bear shows in the Flowtron comp previously. I got to judge, I think, 4 or 5 of his shows, and the smoothness of his transitions and overall movements it's just so impressive. And looking at his finger tuts, we're kind of in that gloving age where there's either really dexterous finger tuts where you're doing all these different movements with your fingers, and then you see this other side which Mega Sloth and Bear kind of have, which is more of the cause and effect type of finger tutting, which is still so impressive and awesome to see. So what do you think about that show, Recursion?
There was so much complexity, and the cause and effect too. I want to touch on that. There was a moment in that show that I had to catch myself because I don't know exactly the move, but he brought in his hand and it was gonna cause a motion here, but it bounced it back first, tricking you from thinking it's gonna hit when it doesn't, and then he brought it in. That was one of the that's one way to start off the round for sure. I'm pretty much
There's
speechless.
a phrase for that. There's a phrase for that.
Yeah, take it away,
Carefully
Jess.
rehearsed spontaneity,
Mm-hmm.
which is a dichotomy in and of itself. But what that means is everything seems like it was pre-planned, but at the same time seems so surprising and like it came out of nowhere, and that it could not possibly have been planned.
So clean.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's murder.
Mirage, I want to hold most of your thoughts just in case it does come down to you, but quick 1 to 2 sentence reaction on that light show.
It's some really good combos that I liked. Some cool out of the box shit. I could see, depending on how that competition was judged before, how he could beat you. So he's not I wouldn't say he's lacking skill. I do think there was moments he could have nailed better. But some definitely good surprises in that show that I was not expecting. So.
All right. Well, surprises all aside, that was an absolutely wonderful start to round 3, and I'm very glad we decided to start with this match. And I'm ready to take a look at his opponent, all the way from India. Here's Tutkita. Oh, and actually, I'm sorry. Before we move on to Tutkita's show, I want to take a look real quick and see what Bear scored. So we do have his scores across the board here. So let's go ahead and pull up the bracket and take a look. And it looks like Bear coming out of the gate with a 32 total, 4 in cleanliness and use of space, 8 on difficulty of concepts, 5 on delivery, 4 in showmanship, and 7 on musicality. Wow. Just here. Take that and eat it. I'm excited. I'm very excited. I do remember Tutkita's shows did surpass 32 in his rounds. Let me see here. He had a 34 in round 1 and a 30 in round 2. So he does have the potential to beat that, but that was with a different set of judges. So that may be a slightly different scale. We shall see. I'm excited for this match. Are you guys excited?
Very.
Awesome.
So stoked. So stoked.
Okay, all right. Let's go ahead and take a look at Tutkita.
Yeast.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Lust, take it away.
Honestly, that show like blew me away. I don't think I've seen a recent video from this person, so it was
Didn't know what to
really, really fun to watch. You know, there's subtleties in his use of space that I saw, and we'll get, you know, Recursion's point of view on this, but you know, there's very obvious movements where you kind of connect all the points, but he purposely had stuff, you know, aligned and moved further back, just in very casual, you know, points in his show. So I thought that was really interesting. But what did you notice in this show, Recursion?
I noticed that this this man knows his grid points. He knows his what works for him. He knows his dime stops. That's for sure. Like there were many moments where he very quickly too. Like I was a little worried that and don't get me wrong, there were moments in this show where it's gonna knock on cleanliness, but from the get-go, I thought it was gonna be a lot more than it actually was. I was actually very impressed by how clean he was with how fast he was moving, and I see the reason why. You know, he wanted to get those tracers out there, and he accomplished that very well. The arcs lined up very well with his grid points, and you know, his references back to those grid points were
he didn't quite sell at the very beginning, but as the song went on, he was definitely starting to fall into his rhythm, fall into the really soundscape and the hits of the track, and he did a really good job of selling the musicality throughout the rest of the performance.
with the transitions too.
I will say, a lot of these movements seemed pretty raw, almost like the type of glove, like the type of movements that a newer Glover will exhibit. But it's interesting to me because there's a lot of things I could say about this light show. He's definitely got the technique down. It just seems like he needs to refine the actual transitions of it. Like he's definitely got the mapping down. He's got his grid points. He's got his understanding there. It just seems like he needs to run through the motions a little bit more, so that when he is selling his musicality, he's able to do it thoughtlessly, rather than making it seem like it's a little oversold.
I think the cool part about this matchup is the fact that you have on one side you have refined beauty, right? When I think of Bear's show, I think of like an elegant, ornate staircase. You know what I mean? With all those swirls and whatnot. And then on the side of Tutkita, you have just raw talent and power that what Josh, what you were saying was just unrefined. It's a very interesting matchup.
Right.
It's very cool to see.
Right.
Yeah, Mirage, what are your thoughts?
I kind of agree a lot with like what Josh is saying. Like, I feel like I'm watching a skateboarder who's learned some cool tricks, but when he does them, they're a little like sketch in some ways. Like, so like the dude has some really cool combos, some really cool concepts. I'm a big fan of symmetry, and he was doing a lot of these like diamond movements and grid shifts, and I really like that. But there was things that I felt like were taking away from how good his tricks could be, if that makes sense.
Can you be more specific?
It's almost like hard to put your finger on it.
Yeah, like you were saying.
But it's just like
thing. Like he doesn't have some of the maybe like the fine motor skills that can
I think
accentuate like some of his tricks.
His the shakes, the impacts, they could. I don't know,
way
they
I
felt
would-
little.
I would like
The way
to.
I would describe it the best is his mental dexterity is overstepping his physical dexterity at this time.
Yes, 100%.
And that's not to say that his physical dexterity isn't there, because it is. It clearly is.
So what
But
I think.
he just needs to drill like 1,000 more times, and then perfect.
I actually have a different opinion, and I'd like to interject on this one while you guys fill out your scores so I can post this up and we can see who won this match. I think that Tutkita's, like, a lot of the things that you guys are talking about Tutkita either not having refined are actually community based. And I think the fact that he is in India and not around not around as many Glovers who have grown up with it, quote unquote, I think that his own local influence, and like the tutting community over there and the gloving community that is over there, they have a very different, unique style. And I think that the norms of that and the differences between that and our norms is showing in this matchup here.
That very well could be a community, because every region of the country has different stylistic aspects to it.
Mm-hmm.
So we being from America here and having basically one perspective, well, not one perspective, but just only the perspective of what has been popular over here, and not getting a whole lot of that community could be coming into play. But
We're judging through a lens.
Exactly. That's what we have to do, and realistically, it just means that we need to see more from that area of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. And we have a winner of this match. Ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the semifinals for pod number 1 is, drum roll please. I'm sure our post production will put that in. Bear moving on by 1 point over Tutkita. 1 point. So Mirage, you are off the hook. You do not need to decide the fate of this particular match. But that was an awesome match. Again, congrats to Tutkita for making it this far.
Very good showing from Tutkita.
Absolutely amazing.
Amazing. I want to see more.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, to come within 1 point.
Our comments is like he did too much wrong. It's just like you guys are trying to say, we're looking at his stuff with a different kind of perspective than he's probably used to over there.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want him to take those comments like negatively, you know.
100%.
Absolutely not.
Like,
our job here at this point is to be extremely critical, and the fact of the matter is that he got here and he got within 1 point of Bear. So
that's impressive.
CG Nova.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Bear won CGI 2018. Like, to get within 1 point of him in your first major online competition, or actually, I'm sorry, I think he was in the Whip Olympics too. But just great showing so far. I'm impressed. Great match. I'd like to thank Mirage, Lust, Jest, and Recursion. That's going to do it for this episode. We'll be back in a couple days with the next match, which is Geometric versus Psych. That's going to be awesome. Are you guys excited for... Yeah, big excited for that match.
Nope.
That's going to be crazy.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys in a couple days. Thanks. And if you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe, so that you don't miss any of the action, and comment so you can join in the conversation and let us know what you thought of these Glovers.
Just